So the first question that we are going to discuss is what is a subquery? A subquery is a query that is nested inside another query in SQL. It is used to fetch data that will be used by the main query as a condition to filter or manipulate the results. Some of the key points about a subquery are this subquery, it is also called as inner query, or it is also called nested query. And a key point about subquery is it is always executed before main query. So it executes before main query. The result of subquery is used by outer query. So when we try to write a subquery, we will have an outer query and an inner query. This inner query is called subquery. The result of the subquery will be used by outer query, and it can be used with statements like select, update, insert, and delete statements. The syntax for subquery is, let me write a simple syntax. First, we will have select, then we will have the column name. So column name, then we need to select the columns from the table. So we will have table name, then we will have a condition. Inside this condition, we will specify the column name equal to, and this is where our subquery will be present. And here we will write our subquery. So our subquery will be select column name from, so I will write table name where the condition. So this is the syntax for writing a subquery. First you will select the column names from the table, and in the where condition you will specify the condition as a subquery. The output of this subquery will be used for this where condition, and it will filter the data based on the specified condition and display the data for this SQL statement. Let's discuss about types of subqueries. We can have single row subquery. Single row subquery means it returns only one value in its output, and multi-row subquery. Multiple row subquery will return more than one row in its output. Basically, it will have multiple rows of data. And third one is correlated subquery. In correlated subquery, each row of outer query is used to execute the subquery. So let's discuss about single row subquery. So the single row subquery will have this syntax. We will select the name, salary from employees. So let's say we have an employees table and we are taking the name and salary. And we use the where statement here, where salary is equal to, and we use the subquery here. So our goal for this example is to select employee with highest salary. So in order to select the employee with highest salary, we need to get the salary which is maximum among that column, which is maximum in the salary column. So in order to do that, we use a subquery in which we select maximum salary from employees. So select max function, maximum of salary. So now what happens is it will select maximum salary from employees table, and the output of this will be taken as the condition in this where clause. So the salary will be equal to the maximum salary, and that will be filtered when we select name and salary from employees table. So it will display the name and salary of employee with the highest salary. So that is how single row subquery works. Now let's discuss about multi-row subquery. So multiple row subquery will return multiple rows of data, and imagine we want to imagine we have employees table and we want to find employees who are working in Bangalore location, for example. So in that case, we can use multiple row subquery. Select name of the employee from employees table, and inside our where condition, we will use department ID. So one point that I want to mention at this point is we do not have the location information in the employees table. So in the employees table, we just have the name of the employee and department ID of the employee. In this case, we also have one more table called departments. So in this table, we have department ID, department ID, and location. So basically, we need to filter out the department IDs whose location is equal to Bangalore. By doing that, we can find all the employees who are working in Bangalore. In this case, we will use the table that is departments inside our subquery. So we will use in here in function to find out all the department IDs where the location is equal to Bangalore. So now the subquery will be select department ID, select department ID from departments where location is equal to Bangalore. So it will filter out all the department IDs where the department ID's location is equal to Bangalore. Based on this filter, it will display the names of employees who are working in Bangalore. Now, the output of the select statement from this subquery will have more than one row because you can have more than one department where the location is Bangalore. So that is why it is called multi-row subquery. Next, we are going to talk about correlated subquery. So let me write down what is correlated subquery. So a correlated subquery uses each row of outer query to execute the subquery. For example, if we have employees table and we are trying to select employees whose salary is higher than average salary of their own department. Let me write down the query. First, we will select employee name and salary of the employee from employees table where e dot salary is greater than. Now I will use a subquery to find the average of the average salary for each department. Select average salary from employees where department ID is equal to E dot department ID. So let me explain you what's happening here. We are comparing the salary of each employee with the average salary of their own department. So basically inside this subquery, we are getting the average salary from employees where the department ID is equal to the department ID of current employee that we are trying to find and compare the salary. So in this case, the department ID is filtered with the current department ID. And after filtering it, it will take the average salary and it will compare that average salary with the current employee's salary and it will filter out if it is less than the average salary. The output of this will be the employees whose salary is higher than average salary of their own department. So this is how you can use correlated subquery. It is correlated subquery because it uses each row of outer query current department of the employee. That is why it is correlated subquery.